Hello, this is part 2 of my Alkro ByLight project. For those of you that missed the first video, it's basically a strange, weird, folding 1990s moped from Italy. This one has got no spark at the moment, so we're going to get into the ignition by taking this black cover off, so we'll pick up straight where we left off. Right, let's get a better look at this engine then. Made in Italy. So, it doesn't feel much heavier than a bag of sugar for the entire engine, transmission and exhaust all in one unit. It seems to me that, yeah, it has captive nuts, so as I'm undoing those bolts on the other side, these captive nuts will come undone. I'm still working on the theory that the ignition is accessed from the other side. It's behind here, but this isn't a removable cover. This is splitting the crankcase because the seam for the crankcase is along here. So I am to assume that in order to get that off, you take the plastic cover off, and then whatever clutch situation's here, it'll be behind that. Hopefully quite accessible, but I don't know. First things first, I think I'll clean it off. So in the process of cleaning this engine, I found this, which that looks like just ordinary household silicone. So it'll be interesting to see what that's all about. Is it in lieu of a head gasket? There's more of it in there. I mean, it's not like a base gasket, sorry. It's not like I'm going to find a base gasket anywhere. I'd have to make one, but I'm just not totally sure. Silicone's the way to go. But at the moment, no spark's the problem, not that. So we'll stick on with trying to get a spark and investigate that if it doesn't run afterwards. Right, so I think this is about as clean as it's going to get with just carb cleaner on a rack. But it doesn't look too bad. Some bits of it have come up better than others. This would be a good time to try and pop it on the scales in the kitchen, wouldn't it? Just to see how much it weighs. This one also seems to double up as an exhaust bracket, so it looks like there's a captive nut welded onto the exhaust that this is screwing out of. Interesting design, but I'm more interested to see what's in here. So this is upside down for you, so I'm going to turn it the right way up for you. Right, let's see if bits go pinging everywhere. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like I need to undo that circlip and take the sprocket off, which incidentally appears to be on a one-way bearing. Okay, I'll find some circlip pliers. Easy as that, eh? Oh, there's a bigger one. I can see this becoming more of a process than I thought it was going to be. Right. Out you come, big guy. Doesn't help that it only turns one way. Now what then? Do I have to press the bearing out or something to get it out? I don't really want to hit it with anything hard. I wonder if we can just sort of lift it up a bit. What's this? Something's coming apart. Okay, so it's belt drive. Right, interesting. So, there's a toothed pulley directly off the ignition, and then it looks like the clutch is on this side. Wow, random. So, I'm going to investigate where that cable comes from then. So that's in that corner. Right, so I need to be investigating under there really, don't I? So I will work that out and come back to you. Right, so it seems the circlips and the sprocket didn't need to come off, but that's interesting. These are apparently disposable, these sprockets. Well, no, I'll rephrase that. Apparently you can't buy new ones, and never were able to buy new ones. So when your sprocket died, the bike was dead. Which leads me to think it would be worth, sorry, I'll just adjust you. It'd be worth seeing if someone would 3D print these. I wonder if that would be strong enough, because this is only like nylon. Anyhow, that's a 13mm socket in there. I don't know if it's worth taking this off. I'll take that off now, because if I'm using a puller on it anyway, I'm going to need the oh, mind you, no, right, sorry, going back and forth on this. So I'm going to use that to hold the flywheel while I undo the nut, if I can. There we go. Should have got the drill attachment really, make it a bit quicker. Or the windy gun. Right, so there is the nut. Lovely. That's not coming off, so let's undo these next. How else is that hold on, I wonder? Just realised there's a gouge out of there as well. I wonder what that's all about. Hope that doesn't catch on anything. Right, okay. So next I need some sort of flywheel puller. Let's go and grab one. Too big. So I need some smaller screws. Too big also. Oh, giant B. Just the right size. These are the ones that came with the engine, that's handy. So these are some of the case screws. and just a generic puller. See if the other screw goes in any better. I'm not going to go in too far in case it catches on anything. But also need to go in further than that because that screw is a lot longer. Still doesn't seem to be catching on anything, that's good. Slightly too far in now. Right, so that is nice and level. Need a bigger socket. Bigger. Get in there. You. And now we're tightening. Oh, okay. That easy, was it? Barely needed a puller at all. Well now, what have we here? Right, I'll see if I've got a replacement internal coil. That's probably a good idea. Clean the points. There's a mark on the lighting coil, but it looks okay. Nothing obvious in there. Right, I'm going to tidy up a bit and then get on with the next phase. Right, so I do have a replacement internal coil, but it is considerably larger. So I think the plan is probably take this one off and see if I can somehow graft a new HT lead on near the base. It's probably the best bet. I'm sticking all the screws on the inside of the flywheel at the moment. Oh, okay. So, where's that supposed to go then? Intriguing. So that would explain the no spark, wouldn't it? Let me see if I can zoom you in a bit. Right, so this wire, which I assume is the input wire to the coil, is just chopped off, and I don't know where it would go. Right, I'll come back to that. In the meantime, I'm going to clean the points, I think. I've lent out my points file to someone, so for now I'm using folded emery cloth, which might not even fit in there, but we'll check. Nope, I'm going to rip it, I think. Rip it lengthways. Still a bit big, really. in the absence of compressed air, a little bit of carb cleaner, just a drop. Right, okay. I was right about that HT lead not fitting through. I need to see exactly where that cable was supposed to go. So I need to mark this on here, like that, and then take this off, which I really hate doing because they're quite difficult to get back where you want them. I'm trusting the timing's right because I don't have any timing specs on it, so I can't really get away with advancing or retarding the timing, or I don't know the points gap either. Right, yes. I'll zoom out a bit. Interesting. Let's see if I can feed a bit of that through and get a little bit more space to play. Oh, God. This plastic sleeving thing around the cable keeps getting stuck on the edge of this hole. Right, there we are. Let's investigate, shall we? So I don't see where that purple wire would have gone. Personally. Unless it was soldered onto the top of the condenser. I need to do some investigation. Cool. Now I just need to work out where that's supposed to go. Right, my best guess is that it goes to the stator, so that's what I'm going to try first. Not the stator, sorry, the condenser. Of course it goes to the stator, it is the stator. Doesn't seem to be sticking that well there. I think I could do better, could do worse, sorry, than to screw the stator back on now. Line it up exactly with the marks. bit long on this cable, haven't I? But I can do it. Looks like a dry joint, but it's not. It's okay. Right. That on. Next up. Woodruff key still in place. Need a drop of oil on there. A little drop of oil on this wick. That'll soak in a minute. Might have gone a bit too far with that. Take some of it off. Right. So that goes on the Woodruff key. Good magnets on this. Good, doesn't rub or anything. Nice and close. Yes, yes, yes. Excellent. So next we have the nut. 13mm. Do a final tighten in a minute. Just going to slightly bend that up because that's a bit of a sharp edge. I don't want it catching. Ooh, there we are. Knock it off altogether. Why not? Cool. I think you deserve a better view. Well, hey, these bearings seem good in here as well, which is nice. Right, now I can hold it by that and give it one final tighten. Yeah, it's not going any more than that. Excellent. It's nice and clean inside here, so that doesn't need anything doing with it. Pop that on. I think the pressure we felt was the bearing seating in there. So now we know exactly where to put the pressure to pop it back on. Right. So that had a nut on the back, a captive nut, which didn't do anything to locate it into the frame, but it does locate it into the case, and then it's the bit stuck out because it's a long bolt. So it's this sticky outy bit which locates it into the frame. So can I get that bolt in there? Nightmare. It must have been that one actually. Yeah, right, okay. Let us start on that. Right, so that is all of those done. Right, next job, reattach these. Which I didn't need to take off in the first place. Yeah, basically I didn't need to take the flywheel off. I didn't need to take this cog off here. I could have soldered it in situ, and this isn't required for removing the cover after all, so that was a complete waste of time. But we've learned how it goes together, which is fun, isn't it? It's a learning process for us all. Right, cool. I'm going to tidy up and then that should be ready to go back on the bike. Okay, I've not wired the decomp up yet, but I just want to check the no spark situation and see if we can get it to start real quick because I'm running out of time. Still don't see any spark on here. Doesn't seem to be lighting up, does it? Also, I'm convinced that that's any good. Doesn't seem to be much going on there, does there? Okay. New plug, new boot, and then see where we go from there. This one's a resistor plug 5K, but it might require a resistor plug anyway. I'm not bothering with the outer insulation bit for now. Let's get the plug out. Now, if I remember rightly, when I looked at this plug, it had a bit of a weird situation going on with the gap. It looks really wide to me, so it might not be the right plug, but I've got a little Champion L86C I can just bung in for now. With a cleaner and better gap. In fact, I think this is a brand new plug. Come on, you fucker. Am I going the wrong way because I'm backwards? Nope, there we go. Right. I think if it was going to go, that would have done it, wouldn't it? Can't even give it any throttle, really. Okay, more investigation to do.